Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Pisces weekly tarot bite reading for the week of July 17th through the 23rd. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot reading for Soul Illumination. So I am Lauren. Hi and welcome. To everyone who is returning, thank you so much for your continued support. It means so much to me. And for anyone who is new, I hope you get something really meaningful and hopefully inspiring out of this reading. Now, this is meant to be a mini reading, about 10 minutes or so, to take a look at the energy for the week ahead for your sign, Pisces. But we're also taking a look at that pertaining to the two themes that came up in the general collective reading, which was released on or posted on Sunday. So we have King of Pentacles and Poised. And that really spoke to us being poised, that this week is that breather week between the marathon of the last cycle we all just went through. Doesn't matter if that cycle was 2 years for you, it was 10 years. There's something that we're each wrapping up on an individual basis this week and really getting ready to start that new cycle for ourselves. But that new cycle is really speaking to us being able to kind of pull that star down, as you see here in this image. Pull that star that represents our guiding principle, what we value, what we want to actually experience in the physical. And we're getting ready to be able to do that in this next cycle. But with the King of Pentacles, through the utilization of something we have mastered on the physical plane of our experience in the last cycle. So let's go ahead here, Pisces, and we're going to see what is coming out for you. So what does poised mean specifically for Pisces? What are you getting poised to bring in for yourself? So we have the Empress and the Four of Cups. Very interesting. So the Empress speaks to the energy of really being able to hold space for what you want to create. It also speaks to our own ability to create, whether that's a child, whether that's a creative project. And it really also speaks to the divine feminine, the energy of receptivity, the energy of giving birth to something. And with the Four of Cups can be that sense of kind of, I'm just not that happy with my life. It can be a sense of just general kind of dissatisfaction of like, that doesn't suit me. That's not exciting. This can be like where we're looking at 3 cups in front of us and we have our cup, but we're either one of two things. We either feel like we're kind of on the outside of everything that's around us. This is like where we don't feel like we're emotionally connecting. We don't maybe emotionally connect anymore with an old friend group. We're not emotionally connecting to a job that we once loved. We're not emotionally connecting to our family in the way that we used to. There's a sense here for you Pisces where with the Empress, it's almost like this is going to be a new cycle where you get a chance to really see your creative potential, to realize that it's not really about what you're expecting from your outside experience to bring you on an emotional level. It's realizing that it's what you bring to that situation. It's almost like the individual who's been sitting here going, but nothing makes me happy, and maybe I'll change jobs again, or maybe I'll change partners again, or maybe I'll do this. And it's like the realization of, if I hold space for what I want, if I choose to have confidence in my own creative potential, instead of looking at something outside of myself to fulfill me, I'm going to realize that I have everything within me to fulfill myself and to create for myself. So there is a sense here of, for some of you Pisces, depending on, where you're at in your life, this could also be where you're, realizing that you really do want to become a parent, that maybe other things in your life are no longer emotionally fulfilling anymore. And there's this idea with the Empress of, I want to be pregnant, I want to give birth, something along those lines. But it could also be that you want to give birth to, again, a creative project or something else in your life that you want to hold space for to bring into your experience. And there's an element here that I think this week where that kind of the arrow, the big green arrow pointing this way, go this way, this is what, look up here in the sky, there's your star, is going to be where you're feeling the most dissatisfaction, where you're feeling the most emotionally disconnected from what you're doing, if you're sitting there, typing away at your computer or doing the same job that you've done, forever, and you're just like, I I can't anymore. It doesn't resonate. Or it's like you're hanging out with the friend group you've been with forever, and you're, chatting, and all of a sudden you find yourself going like, I've had this conversation 28 times, like nothing changes. I'm not getting anything anymore like I used to out of this group of people. Or maybe a support group or networking, or, whatever it is. There's a sense here of really of feeling, I think, there's going to be that place in your life where you're feeling the most dissatisfied with, or the most emotionally disconnected from, and that's going to be that big arrow of like, you know what, I need to hold space for more of a shift in this area of my life. So this could be like where you're suddenly realizing, I want to hold space for the right partner, not just me constantly dating, but I'm going to start holding space for the right person to come in. Or I'm not going to just keep taking job after job after job, hoping that it's going to become fulfilling for me. I'm going to actually start to really look at, what can I create? What can I where does my creativity come from? And how can I apply that possibly to a new career path? Or look at maybe even finding a way to change your position in your own company. Like I want to create new structures and systems. Well, maybe I need to then go up into a different area of my corporate establishment, something along those lines. But again, this week, I think as you're getting poised to really look at where that star is and how you're going to bring it down into yourself, there's a sense here of really allowing where you're the most disconnected, maybe disappointed, or just the general feeling of that's going to be that place of, okay, this is where I want to hold space to bring in a change in a friend group, a change in a work environment, a change in my love life, whatever it is. So we have here for the King of Pentacles, so kind of what you've mastered in the physical and how you're going to be utilizing this in the next cycle. You have Justice and the Six of Cups. Very interesting, actually, because Justice can speak to, obviously, the law of divine balance and harmony. It is a card of Libra, but there is a sense to Justice when it comes up as to kind of the making and breaking of legal contracts. So this could be a marriage, this could be a divorce, this could be signing on to, start a course. You're saying, yes, I'm going to give you the money, and you're going to start going back to school. Or this could be where you guys are signing the contract for a new job position. And with the Six of Cups, so there's something here about something from the past. So this could be one of two things. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze, guys. I'm sorry. It still might come out. If it does, I'm sorry if I scare you. I have loud sneezes. But with Justice and the Six of Cups, there's something here around either you were able to break. It's like when we talk about mastering something in the physical, you might have actually broken a contract from the past. This could be where maybe you got divorced and you were able then to really understand how to get through that. Maybe you had to kind of come back from that, if that makes sense. Like maybe you had to give half of your belongings to another person, and so you then had to kind of establish yourself again. And through doing that, you learned how to master your resources. This could also be where maybe you broke a contract, or maybe you made a contract. This could be where maybe in the past you had, I'm trying to think of how to say this. You could have been that you got married and you learned how to establish a home and a budget and all of that kind of stuff. There could also be something here where something from the past is coming back, where a kind of long lost passion or a long lost person is coming back into your experience, and there may be a legal contract around that, meaning that there could be something here where somebody comes in and says, remember when we talked about you capitalizing on that skill set 10 years ago? Well, would you like to do it? Because I actually am starting my own business and I need somebody who would be doing that aspect of this job, and I'd love to go in on a business partnership with you. And then it's like almost like all of a sudden it's highlighting for you how much you've just not been excited about your past job. And you're like, well, yeah, actually, you know what? I think I can bring my creativity to this. I think I really can. Maybe I can sign on the dotted line and leave the place I've been at forever and go out and try something new and to test and see like what my creative ability could actually grow for me. It can also be where someone from the past comes in and says, I love you. Do you want to move in together? Something along those lines. And you're like, oh my gosh, it could be that someone from the past is coming back into your life in some regard, whether it's business related, whether it's romantically related, whether it's something from the past that's coming up now that's being highlighted, a past ability, a creativity element to yourself that you can actually capitalize on now. But I do feel like kind of the big underlying theme for this week for you is looking at where you are most dissatisfied or emotionally disconnected and getting into that place of where you can create more of something for yourself in that area where you're like, you know what, I'm going to get creative about my social circle. I'm going to start putting myself out there and just see if I can meet new people. I'm going to join that kickball league and just throw myself in with other people. I'm going to join that networking group for people who do X, Y, and Z and just see who I meet, or it can be where, again, if this is like your job, you're like, I'm just going to start to feel around. Maybe I'm going to pick up a hobby and just see how it starts to kind of emotionally engage me again, or I'm going to start to just put feelers out there, maybe talk to a recruiter. But there's something here around potentially also somebody from your past coming back in, and there may be a contract around something that you did master in the past experience. So this could be like maybe where the timing wasn't right to begin with because you didn't have a degree or you didn't have the level of training, but now you do, and that person could be coming back and saying, I see what you're capable of. I see what you're mastered. Do you want to level up? Do you want to go into business? Do you want to take this new position? Do you want something along those lines? And you have Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Cups is the energy of self-love, unconditional love. It's also meeting your own needs. This is self-nurturing as well. So I think for many of you, this is going to be a new cycle of where you are honoring yourself, honoring your own needs, because with the Four of Cups, this speaks to maybe not doing that or being a little disconnected from that, where you're, again, trying to look at things outside of yourself to fulfill yourself. You're moving into a cycle that's going to be more about the fulfillment and the nurturing of the self and of your emotions and how you do things in your experience that emotionally connect you to life. I really like that. Okay, Pisces, I will leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. If you'd like to book a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below. Otherwise, if you wanted to view your full July tarot scope for the month of July for your sign, that is on my channel as well. And I will start to post August tarot scope starting next week for each sign. All right, Pisces, I hope to see you next week for your next weekly tarot bite reading. Bye.